I'll echo too much. Look, a brief talk about my painting. I met Leigh who's one of Australia's foremost choreographers, and so his background goes back to the 60s. He's headed a number of major ballet companies, founded the Sydney Dance Theatre Company, danced with Nareyev in the 70s, 5 years in Nareyev and friends. I met Leigh at a party by accident in Adelaide, a gentleman who collects only Australian contemporary art, and Leigh was a guest at the party, and we got to talking, and one thing led to another, and as you've heard from a number of other artists, you sort of popped the question, and he said yes, and that was delightful. And so this particular painting was probably nearly the last one of a series, and to build up from that, I have this habit, having only painted full-time for a year, my style is that I grab as many photographs of the person as possible, and I just do a lot of lightning sketches, a lot of lightning watercolour washes, and anything crayons, pastels, so to know every crevice and every part of the painting face will come later on. So in this particular painting, Leigh sat one afternoon. I went to his studio. He's got an old flour mill that's been converted into a living quarters and a dance studio and so on. And he sat down for me. The one part I love about live portrait setting is the city usually tells you their life story, or you let them just chat, and then you just a word here or there, and you say, so what did you do then? So how did you feel about that? And then they talk for the next, and he sat for about an hour and a half, 2 hours that afternoon, where the major part of the portrait was done, because I worked quickly. And I took it home, and the following day, from some photographs that I'd taken, that I blew up on a copier, straightened up the glasses and a couple of minor details, and then did the background. That was it. But in that time, and the other times he sat for me, you get to know a lot about the man. I think he's a beautiful man, and I think we will know each other for a fair while. Currently, I enlisted the okay of what I think is Australia's foremost classical composer, Ross Edwards, who's probably second in line from Peter Sculthorpe, who's just recently died, because I'm a classical music nutter, and that's who I'm currently working on. I'm looking forward to visiting Ross in Sydney to do some live sittings, much the same. In the meantime, I've completed about 6 portraits from photographs that will probably just go in the shed or in the storeroom or wherever. But first year for me, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm absolutely overjoyed to be part of the finals here. It's been an absolute. So thank you.
Okay, next up, Joshua Coffey. So we'll just move